Little side part, little filler. This is for anybody who's going through maybe a confusing situation and you're wondering like, what the fuck is wrong with this person? What's wrong with them, right? Like genuinely, like what is wrong with this person? And I gotta let you know, man. It's some sociopaths and some psychopaths rule in this world. Now, what's the difference between a psychopath and a sociopath? All right, they say that psychopaths are born, sociopaths are made. A sociopath can be made through traumatic experiences, death, sexual assault, just having a continuous series of things that happen to you, a continuous series of bad things that happen to you can turn people sociopathic. Now, it's not that everybody who goes through bad things is going to become a sociopath, but that's usually why it happens. A psychopath is somebody who just doesn't experience empathy. They don't experience the full range of emotions that most people do. So you'll find that most sex offenders, most psychopaths could be sex offenders, but most psychopaths, bro. Most psycho most psychopaths are successful, goal oriented people because they don't have like the system of validation that like standard or neurotypical people would have, which is to feel elevated by, you know, community, giving back, joyous things, all those things. A psychopath is motivated by gaining things. They're motivated by what betters them, and they don't really care what they have to do to get it. That's why most of the time they can end up being such successful people, because they look at life like a game. They don't look at life like an experience. So for example, say you meet a guy, right? You meet a guy, and usually from the bat you can tell somebody is either a narcissist, a psychopath, or a sociopath, and those three things go hand in hand for me. But you can tell by how they look at you. When somebody like I'm gonna try my best to really like mimic this kind of gaze, because it's actually like very easy to tell once you start to be able to notice it. But when somebody makes eye contact with you, right, the reason they're making eye contact with you is because they want to connect with you. When a psychopath is making eye contact with you, they're not trying to connect with you, they're trying to look through you. And the same thing happens with the narcissist. The narcissist stare is kind of different, but the psychopathic stare or sociopathic stare is very similar. So it will just kind of make you uneasy. Subconsciously, your mind understands that, because think about it, right? Why are most incarcerated criminals sociopaths, psychopaths, or narcissists? It's because internally they kind of are predatory creatures. Remember how men are predatory creatures? Yeah, psychopaths and narcissists and sociopaths are also predatory. But the thing is that they don't want anyone to be able to uncover them. They don't want anyone to be able to describe how it is that they are what they are. And because they don't experience the full array of emotions that most people do, they experience a lot of insecurity. This is very, very, very dangerous, okay? Because these can be very dangerous people. They're envious, psychotic, and they like to retaliate. And when I tell you these people like to retaliate, I mean these people like to retaliate. Okay, that's why they're mostly in jail, where they should be, in fucking jail. Because when they're out and about with normal people, they get triggered by almost nothing. You could just be existing, but if you have something they want, or something that they want themselves to be, they will target you. And it's not like once you say, hey, I feel like something weird's going on, is there a problem? They're not going to tell you. No, they're going to paint it up. They're going to tell you everything's fine. They're going to want to keep you close, keep your enemies closer than your friends. Keep your friends close and your enemies closer. They see life like that. They're going to keep you close, and they're going to make sure that anything that you know, they know. Because these people are obsessed with control. These people are very obsessed with control, and they can be very abusive and aggressive people, but they care more about their image. So if you're ever dealing with a psycho, remember that. Remember that they care more about their image, and you're not going to change them. You're not going to change the way they think or see things. It's just going to be that.